Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, along with Elizabeth Hart. William Shakespeare once wrote, "The eyes are the window to the soul." You've heard that, meaning you can understand a person's emotions and sometimes thoughts by looking into a person's eyes. But is there more? According to our next guest, Amy Gillespie Doherty, you can actually see a person's ancestors in their eyes. Amy is the author of The Ancestors Within. It's a book series and also does ancestral eye readings. Welcome to the show so much. Tell us briefly how you actually came to understand and be interested in the art of reading eyes, Amy.
Thank you so much, Mitch. I'm thrilled to be here. I was actually doing survival skills training in Africa. And when I came back, I wanted to continue working with kids. And I was taking a course on conscious language.
Uh-huh.
And the instructor had a program reading eyes for behavioral aspects. And I thought, well, that's the coolest thing ever. So I started studying. I trained in 5 different modalities, and I kept feeling like something's missing here.
Okay.
How can a child have a marking in sibling rivalry with sisters when they're the oldest child? What if they don't have any sisters? And are they predestined to have sisters?
Okay.
What happens if a sibling dies? Does it all change back? And it wasn't until I trained with someone working with grandparents in birth order that I realized what I was seeing was our ancestors' challenge with sibling rivalry with girls or a female competitive environment, maybe co-orphans in an orphanage, or girls in boarding school, or cleaning rooms on the Titanic, or
Okay.
even our inner feminine dynamics. And that's why you can't cut and paste an eye reading. It's from there that I created Aerogenics Ancestral Eye Reading.
Now, when you're looking into their eyes, because you have a whole procedure that you do, is there something you're looking for? Is it maybe obviously the color is a big thing, I would imagine, but is there like speckles or things that pop up that you notice, or how does that work?
Great question. And actually, the color is one of the smallest things we look at. It's actually those openings and speckles, as you said, as well as images that show up in the eyes where you'll actually see people. You may see a child or a baby or an adult man or someone delivering a child or someone
Okay.
doing trapeze or ballet.
All right, you've hooked me into this one. How did you know that you were able to basically interpret what you see and how you see a person's ancestors in their eyes? What do you actually see when you see? Are you saying you actually can see that, or you could see a representation of it?
No, you can see it. And so I didn't know until I was actively taking macro photos of the eyes
Okay.
and I began noticing images and I would just ignore it because I was working with academics, Department of Corrections, social workers, Boys and Girls Club. But then after I moved to Virginia, my husband said, "Well, Amy, you've got to share this." And as I started working with more and more people, they were saying, "Well, don't you see that man? Don't you see that woman? Don't you
Well,
see
that's
that
interesting.
child?" And that's why we take the photo to capture the images so we can look at them together.
What else can you actually learn about a person just by reading their eyes?
Well, I don't do health aspects. Other people do, but I'm looking at those unresolved traumas, any personality shifts that may have occurred early in life. Nobody gets away with dropping the baby in an eye reading. And the in utero experience. If you have a child, for example, who can't hear "I love you," the reason is usually pretty well mapped out in the eyes. You'll actually see some indicators of that. And those who are adopted, as I was, it can really change their trajectory
Oh
from
yeah.
seeking answers about who they are outside of themselves to realizing almost all of their answers are inside of themselves and their current life. Can be a really healing experience for family
All
dynamics.
right, very good. Quickly, tell us where can folks go and get to more information on what you're speaking of, because this is fascinating to me.
Well, they can find more information on Aerogenics Ancestral Eye Reading and also my Ancestors Within book series. They can find at amygillespie.com.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll have this interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com.